Ladies and gentlemen, hello, and welcome to this new episode of Sudan in Focus weekly news magazine, which focuses on Sudan news and events, aims to give the Sudan TV audience a broad and first-hand information about what is going on in Sudan. So let's go.
The chairman of the Sovereign Council, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Lieutenant General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, arrived on Saturday in the city of Sinnar and was received by the governor of Center State Designate, Muhammad Ali Abdullah, the commander of the Blue Nile Military Region, the commander of the Advanced Center Major General Dr. Rabi Abdullah, the leaders of the regular agencies in the state and a crowd of citizens. His Excellency was briefed on the operational situation in the state and the readiness of the armed forces and other regular agencies and those mobilized from the popular resistance to repel any attempts by the enemy to destabilize the security and stability of Center State. His Excellency inspected the front lines of the defenses of Sinnar and their readiness to defeat the rebels from the terrorist Rapid Support militias. Al-Burhan praised the heroic performance of the heroes of the armed forces and regular forces in defeating the militia. Al-Burhan inspected the wounded and injured of the Battle of Dignity from regulars and citizens at Al-Kifa Specialized Hospital in Sinnar. President of the Transitional Sovereignty Council, TSC, and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, sent a cable of congratulations to His Excellency President Cyril Ramaphosa, President of the Republic of South Africa, on the occasion of his re-election to a second presidential term, wishing him success and continuous development and growth in the relations between the two countries. President of the Transitional Sovereignty Council, TSC, and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, sent a cable of congratulations to Djiboutian President Ismail Omar Guelleh on the occasion of his country's National Day. TSC President said in his cable, "It is my pleasure to extend, in my name and the name of the government and people of Sudan, my warmest congratulations to Your Excellency on the occasion of the National Day of the Republic of Djibouti." President of the Transitional Sovereignty Council, TSC, and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, met in his office on Tuesday with the Executive Director of UNICEF, Catherine Russell, who is now visiting Sudan to assess the conditions of children in the country. The President of the Transitional Sovereignty Council praised the UNICEF efforts and its cooperation with the government on caring for the children of Sudan. Acting Under-Secretary of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Hussein Al-Amin Al-Fadil, explained, in a press statement, that the meeting discussed the initiatives presented by the UNICEF and its projects to care for children in conflict areas and to return the displaced to their homes. For her part, Catherine Russell praised the great cooperation she received from the government and relevant institutions, which contributed to facilitating the performance of its tasks, stressing UNICEF's keenness to participate in everything that would overcome the challenges and difficulties facing children in Sudan, particularly about nutrition and school dropout. Vice President of the Transitional Sovereignty Council, TSC, Commander Malik Agar, was briefed on the efforts made to address the electricity issue in several Sudan states, particularly the Red Sea state, and the proposed solutions and improvements at the Swakin conversion station to ease the burden and reduce the demand for the Turkish barges' electricity. During his meeting at his office in Port Sudan on Wednesday with the Minister of Energy and Oil, Dr. Mohilda Naeem Mohammed Saeed, His Excellency stressed the necessity of finding effective solutions to resolve the electricity crisis as soon as possible, pledging to overcome all obstacles and challenges facing the rendering of electricity service.
بيان من حكومة ولاية سنار.
The Sinnar State Security Committee stated the masses of the Sudanese people regarding what was reported on social media about the fall of the city of Sinnar to the terrorist rebel Rapid Support Forces, RSF, militia. Wali, Governor, of Sennar State, Tawfiq Mohammed, affirmed the calmness of the situation in the city of Sennar and that the security situation in the state is stable. Member of the Transitional Sovereignty Council, TSC, and Deputy Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, General Shamsuddin Kabashi, arrived on Wednesday in the city of Sennar accompanied by Commander of the 18th Infantry Division Major General Sami Al-Taib. General Kabashi was received in the city of Sennar by the Commander of the Blue Nile Military Region and the Sennar Advanced Forces Commander, Major General Dr. Rabi'i Abdullah, and Commander of the 256th Air Defense Brigade Brigadier General Ali Bello, and Supervisor of the General Intelligence Service in the state. The Deputy Commander-in-Chief was briefed on the operational situation in the sector and the readiness of the forces to repel any attempts by the enemy to destabilize the security and stability of Sennar State. His Excellency reassured of the readiness of the Sennar Advanced Forces and the high morale enjoyed by members of the armed forces, the intelligence service, police personnel, and the mobilized people's resistance, praising the heroic performance in the various axes that forced the militia to retreat after the armed forces inflicted on it heavy losses in lives and equipment. General Kabashi affirmed the armed forces' continuous determination to defeat the rebel militia and thwart all plans aimed at destroying the country. Member of the Transitional Sovereignty Council, TSC, Assistant Commander-in-Chief, Marine Engineer Ibrahim Jabir, praised the great role played by the Atbara Artillery Corps and the firm creed of its soldiers in defending the homeland during its long history. When addressing officers, non-commissioned officers and artillery soldiers at Atbara on Wednesday morning, in the presence of the acting governor of the Nile River State, Mohammed al-Badawi Abdul Majid, and the commander of the Artillery Corps, Major General Mohammed Al-Amin Hassan Abdul Wahab Khairei, His Excellency praised the high coordination and cooperation between the artillery and the rest of the executive, security and regular bodies in the Battle of Dignity, Al-Karama, against the terrorist rebel Rapid Support Forces, RSF, militia, in which the artillery's performance was so well. Member of the Transitional Sovereignty Council, TSC, and Assistant Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, General Marine Engineer Ibrahim Jabir, praised the approach taken to rehabilitate and maintain Atbara Airport by the required standards. During his recent visit to the Nile River State, General Jabir reviewed the stages of work on the new terminals, runway rehabilitation operations, and air navigation equipment at the airport. The Assistant Commander-in-Chief stressed the importance of the airport being based on the principles and rules in force in the World Aviation Organization, and comparable to international airports. His Excellency inspected the dry port and the customs hangar, noting the importance of tight coordination with the relevant authorities to manage the work as required.
Thank you for according me the opportunity, and thank you for your cooperation. As you know, yesterday, the latest IPC analysis report has been, or interim report has been launched, and this is our response to the details contained therein. We have our concerns of the report of the Technical Committee for the Integrated Food Security Phase Classification IPC. So we need to reflect our concerns, and we have an IPC committee which is consisted of, from the government side, it includes Ministry of Agriculture and Forestry, Ministry of Livestock and Ministry of Social Development, Humanitarian Aid Commission, Ministry of Health, Weather Forecast and Statistics Department, and the international partners comprised of Food and Agriculture, which is FAO, WFP, Famine and Food Security Network, International Organization for Migration, Food Security and Nutrition Sector. The food security situation in all states of Sudan, as has been analyzed, and through the analysis, cases of hunger said to be appeared in some localities and camps for displaced people in states where conflicts are severe. The committee analyzed the risk of famine in these areas. Northern Darfur in Al-Fashir and Zamzam camp, South Darfur in Niala, North, South, and Balila, West Darfur in IDP camps and Sirba locality, South Kordofan in camps for displaced people and refugees, Khartoum in Tuti, Mayo and rescue, Al Jazeera in Greater Madani, south and east of Madani, east of the Nile in the locality, North Kordofan Shikan refugee camp in East Darfur area. So the results of this committee's report at the national level and according to the classification stages in Sudan, there are 25.6 million people in food emergencies and need urgent interventions. 755,000 people live in hunger. They are located in areas witnessing severe conflicts. Most of them are displaced, people in camps, and very narrow areas in Khartoum and the Jazeera. The current period running from October to February, there is a decrease in the number of people in emergency situation from 25.5 or 0.6 to 21 million IPC3 because it is a harvest period despite the war conditions. So the population who are in the hunger phase decreased as well from 755,000 to IPC 5 108,944. The food security situation risk in regions or in the regions was analyzed in the following. Camps for displaced people in Darfur and Kordofan, the narrow areas in Jazeera and Khartoum. It turns out of these residents are in a state of hunger. All members of the committee are convinced that these areas which witnessed cases of hunger are subjected to repeated attacks, vicious repeated attacks by the RSF militia, and some of them are encircled or besieged by the militia until present. The Ministry of Agriculture and Forestry concerns regarding the report are the following. The report did not clearly mention any adequate indicators of famine in Sudan. We believe that the data collection by IPC from the states occupied by the RSF militia is unreliable and unconvincing due to the difficulty of accessing those areas or those states. The report is merely depending on old data from UN agencies and organizations. According to the report, as I said, 25.6 million people are now in food emergencies and in need of urgent interventions. The number of people in emergency situation, as I said, decreased to 21 million in October, February, between October and February 24 period because it is a harvest period despite the war conditions. The number of people in the hunger status also decreased from 755,000 between October, February 25 period to 181,000. The 181,000 people in the hunger status constitute only 2% of the total population of 48 million, and this is insignificant percentage to be taken as a serious indicator of an imminent famine. So some partners were not convinced by the IPC report nor were they convinced by the previous CFSM production estimates report, which denied any famine in Sudan. They are insisting to review the famine. Our recommendations are accordingly, we agree with the report that there are people who are in need of food and an intervention more than others should be supported to protect them from falling into famine. or experiencing dire famine. More than 8.1 million people are displaced in states under the government control, should be supported because they can easily be provided and have access to aid. So if the declaration of famine is only to open borders, so the government has already named more than 8 cross borders, like our borders with Republic of South Sudan, which is riverine and terrestrial, our borders with Egypt from Halab to Dongola in northern Sudan, our borders with Chad, Atina, Al-Fashir, borders through Sawakin in eastern Sudan, and we have dedicated 3 airports, Port Sudan, Al-Fashir Airport, and Kadugli, to mainly for shipment of aid, humanitarian aid. So our concern is that there are risks, looming risk, and existential risk that the RSF militia can see the humanitarian and prevent its access or delivery to the needy, as it has disrupted before the convoy which has started from eastern Sudan through northern Sudan heading to Millita and Al-Fashir. So if we open specific border of Adari between Chad and Sudan, this will be opening Pandora's box, because there will be smuggling of arms to the area controlled by the RSF militia in that area, and the army or the Sudanese armed forces do not have any checkpoints in that area.
Tuti Island is an island in Sudan where the White Nile and Blue Nile merge to form the main Nile. It's surrounded by the 3 towns: Khartoum, the capital of Sudan, Omdurman, the largest city in Sudan, and Khartoum North, also known as Khartoum Bahari, a large industrial center. Despite this, Tuti is home to only a small village founded in the late 15th century, with grassland being the main makeup of the island. In the past, the only approach to Tuti Island was via several ferries that cross the river intermittently, but the Tuti Bridge, a modern bridge, was completed in 2008 and can be used instead. The island area is 3.99 square kilometers, 1.54 square miles. Tuti Island is mainly agricultural and where Khartoum gets most of its supply of fruits and vegetables. Several farms are situated all around the island, many of them still using manual methods of farming. Green fields and lime groves are also present. Its 8 square kilometers, 3 square miles of fertile land are covered in citrus orchards, vegetable farms, grass hedgerows, and lanes where donkeys and rickshaws are kind of transport in the island. There are 2 bridges in Tuti Island: First Bridge, Tuti Bridge, and Tuti North Bridge project. This island is located in the middle of the Blue and White Nile junction, overlooking the 3 major cities at the state of Khartoum: Khartoum City, Omdurman, and Bahri. The island is occupied by people from the Mahas, Nubian tribe known to locals as Tawata. Residents of Tuti have been living in the island for more than 400 years and believe they are all related to 15th and 16th century sheikh known as Idris Arbab al-Agid. Although the residents of Tuti are highly educated, many of them hold important positions throughout government institutions, private sectors, and civil society organizations. The island have its own social fabric, heritage, and way of life, and many of the island residents are still farmers. The Tawata are very generous people. Tuti Island is a very nice island with very large beach with nice and wide sands and great view with the Tripura capital and its famous cities Khartoum, Khartoum Bahri and Durman. Such a charming sceneries attracts the tourists and visitors to the island. So we can say Sudan is a country of opportunities and potentialities. So let's go to visit Sudan.
For joining us today. Ms. Fee, throughout the conflict in Sudan, Chad has been an ally for the UAE and allowing them to funnel weapons to the rapid support forces through the eastern Chad. In return, we know Chad received $1.5 billion loan from the UAE, which is an amount that is equal to 80% of the Chad's annual state budget. This support has angered many of Chad's Zagawa elites, right? President Debby's recent disputed election victory and RSF's current attack on El Fasher, the North Darfur state capital city, which many Zagawa generals had drawn as a red line, have increased speculation regarding Chad's stability. So what would the implication for political stability in Chad be if an attack on El Fasher happens?
Thank you for raising the complicated political and security situation in Chad. We are seeking to avoid an assault on El Fasher, not only because it's a large capital city of the state, but because so many IDPs have sought refuge there. So that's a focus of our diplomacy right now, and what Special Envoy Tom Perriello is attempting to seek support from partners in Africa and in the Arab world.
So let's say if El Fasher is attacked, what impact would this have on the UAE's ability to funnel weapons and materials through Chad to the RSF?
It's hard for me to speculate, but it appears that the negative attention that would result from the atrocities that we would anticipate that would occur as a result of an attack should be, we would hope, a deterrent to any external party supporting the fighting forces in El Fasher.
Wood sculpture is considered as a branch of the visual art and is one of the types of plastic arts based on creating three-dimensional models. This art is practiced on rocks, metal, ceramics, wood, and other materials. It has many types of wood industries: simple wooden craft, garden and park furniture industry, wooden doors and windows industry, furniture industry, architectural wood industries. And there are a lot of woods that is used in sculpture, such as walnut wood, which is distinguished by its beauty and flexible hardness, is considered one of the most valuable and best woods for carving. Mahogany is a rich hardwood and is one of the best hardwoods that expand and does not shrink. It can be carefully drilled and has a tendency to splinter. Olive wood is excellent for carving work. It is a greenish brown color and is suitable for sculpture. Ebony wood, which is one of the hardest wood, is black and is widely used in sculpture. Beech wood combines hardness and softness, and is one of the most widely used woods for carving and furniture because it's easy to work and suitable for shaping. To prepare wood sculpture, you can use the desired drawing and engrave it on a wooden panel or print it on a paper. Place the drawn paper on the wooden board and trace the drawing on the paper with a pencil, and following the drawing lines until the tool penetrates the wood fibers, then cleaning the wooden board with sandpaper to remove excesses or rough edges. To make it more clear, coating the wooden panel with paint. So the benefits of the art of sculpture are highlighting heritage and displaying it in amazing way, developing aesthetic awareness, teaching aesthetic education or artistic education to create a sense of authentic popular values and legacies beside the type of wood industries such as simple wooden craft that is used in garden and park furniture industry, wooden doors and windows, doors, furniture industry, architectural wood industries.